pressure.
Okay, so these little bud things, I think, are really useful. I mean, you can really make a nice statement getting these little bud things here in. Well, when you go to splashing a lot of color on first, sometimes these get, lost and you never get them back. So I was thinking it might be useful to even start out with those, and there's two ways you could go about it, because you could draw some of them a little bit if you wanted to. Not saying that you want to. But here's the other thing. I have seen people who are classically trained that make little dots. So they look and they see that, oh, here's where another thing starts, and here's where another thing starts. I'm not very clear there, am I? So maybe they'll make a few little dots around where they want something to go. So let's say that we are painting this and we don't want a bunch of marks here, but maybe I want that petal to go up here. Maybe I'll even put a little dot, or I'll make a little bit of a petal there to give myself a few areas to work to. See, maybe I'll make a little bit of the stem here, and I know that I want this one to come down here, so that maybe I give myself a few little marks, and that kind of, you wind up, let's say that you've got a certain size that you want this to fit on. Well, if you do that kind of thing, you can have a little bit more planning involved and still have something that looks loose. The other thing is that these little dots that some of these artists make that I've seen in their drawings, those make a nice little almost dance in the drawing that makes the drawing better. So, I love those things. And guess what? I got no water. Could somebody hand me their water? I knew something was missing.
Did you wet your paints?
Yes, I did.
Yes, she did that.
I did that. I guess I better move them over here. So what I'm thinking about doing, here, let's get a little more pure color here.
And what's the name of that
Oh,
color?
this is the quinacridone coral.
Coral.
And
Bless
I
you.
have to remember to be careful getting into this because that's pretty fresh paint. And this is the new gamboge. So let's say that I'm going to start out with these.
What's the difference in just gamboge and new gamboge?
I do not know, but I suspect the new one's better.
Can't find the old one.
So I might just start out, and I'm still looking at this more than my drawing, but in fact, you don't even have to actually use your drawing, but maybe come close. And if you have some lines in there that don't quite make sense, sometimes they just add to the interest of it. It's amazing how that can actually make something better. So let's see, we've got that, and then this is the bottom of a flower, and so I'm going to add yellow in here for sure. Oh, that's too much yellow. So let's just I squeeze this out, and I'm just going to suck it up there. Okay. I want some of these little ditties over here. And I love just stamping with my brush. See, and I'm not all that excited about lines. You know what? In fact, we just, okay, because it makes me feel
Happy.
a little freer. Yeah. So this one's a little up on the pinker side. Now, I really like the stronger color like we used in the others. And I'm suggesting that you might want to go with stronger color. But I'm going to play with making this one a little pinker. So I know that this petal came all the way up there. Oops, those are going to bleed together. They sure are. Well, okay, good. And I might drop in a little water, I might throw in a little blot. You know, I do not want this to get too like hard edge, all what the brain expects, because the brain is not entertained if it always gets what it already expected.
Dang, that sounds like a quote.
Yeah.
You know, it's deep, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
really deep. So the thing is that you might want a little bit of, I don't know that I wanted that color, but I put it in there. Yeah, I'll go with it. So here, and then we've got another petal out here. Now, what do I do with this? I can either bleed this in, or I could keep a little bit of a white outline in a couple of places, because that makes sparkles. And who's not happier when they have sparkles? Just tell me who. So, okay, so that ran into that one, and I'll have to redefine it later if I want it. But all I'm saying is, you're working loose and playfully. You're not trying to get there, get your darks in yet. You're not trying to get there all at once. But little messy spots like this may actually pay off in the long run. Don't be too precise with everything, you know, having this certain edge. Let those, or the inside, maybe let the inside be a little messed up. Or, you know, oh, yeah, kind of like that. Do stuff. Go forth and do
Why did
stuff.
you get
these
this
out.
nice purple
Well,
from?
that's what I'm going to tell you about.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, let me just wipe this out because
Yes, this purple.
I started to mix it and then I realized I had it in my palette. So I don't have to mix it. Glunk. Oh. Okay. So what I need here first is I'm using some phthalo green. Oh. But look at this. It's the same color, but it's just a lot lighter and maybe a little bit grayer. Just a little bit. Let's just take a little bit of this coral that we've been using. Put a little of that into this. See, that grays it down. See it go grayer? Okay. Now I think if we get really pale, we could put a leaf in. So let's me. Try this. Try to be a little bit safer with this. There's a center coming up through here. And here's a, oh, where do I want to put the tip of that? I think I want to bring it up here. Okay. So I'm going to give myself a little something to go by, and then actually it kind of runs off the seam here somewhere. So let's put that in. Nice and wet. Okay, maybe even a little thinner. I am working on the back of that new sheet of arches. I think I forgot again that I didn't want to use the backs. So I don't feel real secure about my results here. Can I borrow my brush? The
absolutely.
small one.
Yeah.
So let's just, I tell you what, let's just take this up to the stem area. So I have a stopping spot here. We'll take a look at it. Now what we want is, we want it to be wet, but we don't want it to be shiny anymore. So what we have to do is we have to wait.
Not our specialty.
I know, it's difficult dealing with you, but here I go. So I am also going to use quinacridone violet.
Oh, I don't have that color.
I've got plenty of it. I've got tons of it, and I don't use a lot. But when I need it, here's the thing: I could have just mixed it.
So tell me what you do to mix it.
Well, I would actually use the rose and, or if you have that other one, that lilac, and
I
I
don't
would
have
mix
lilac.
just a little bit of probably the phthalo green into it, just a tiny
Okay.
bit. Okay, so let's look at this. I'm waiting on the sheen to go away. Well, I'm just gonna have to wait, and you're just gonna have to stand here.
So what do you think about the background? What are we
Oh,
gonna do with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a clue. Okay, so I've got the violet in here. I might have a little bit of the coral mixed into it. It'll make it a little softer, but mainly I just don't want it to be too strong. As I'm going to put this in while this is still damp, almost shiny, but not. And then I'm going to gently pull some of these, because I want that fuzzy soft edge. I don't want this to look too harsh. And up here I've got a little more color than is in the picture, but you know what? I'm kind of liking that. So, and there's some color along the edges. Damn, I want to break that edge somewhere though. Oh dear, well, whatever. Okay, so just keep going. Oh, got it a little stronger there than I meant to. Nice variety. And see, I'm skipping along here a little bit. And I've got enough water in my brush. I'm actually getting a little bit of a back run here, which I didn't intend. But I think I'm going to be very happy with it. That's too dry. I don't like that. There. Okay. So that's getting dry there too. So you got to catch it at just the right time is the thing. But now I've got these nice little things that now if I wanted them to be a little stronger, then you might dry your brush off. And go back in. This will be the wettest area, so it'll probably still be soft. But you're having to judge what it's doing. I mean, you can't just go through the motions. You have to watch what it's doing. And you notice I'm still skipping. I'm not making a smooth line. I'm making a broken up line like that because that just makes a gentler impression here. It doesn't have to work all the way down. Let's just put a little more edge on it there. And then I think I'll stop. Now, I went on the wrong side of my stem, so I'll just make a new stem right here. And I'm going to repeat the same thing over here on this side. But that's how I would get these leaves. Now, some of these leaves are a lot darker. Oh, look over here. Okay? That's really pretty. It's deep. So I think that is pretty much. Let's see where. Oh, here's where it was. I think that's pretty much this. I can probably add a little bit of this purple to it. By the way, I have a big tube of purple with me. Okay, I could probably add more of this. Ooh, I think I need a little more. I should not say purple. I should say quin violet. I do not use quinacridone purple. It's too vicious. It really is.
Violet, okay.
So I'm going to come in here. So this is going to make the edge on my flower, and I might not. I think I'll make this one just come this far. So I might want to break that up a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, this leaf comes over there. So I'm letting the paint just flow off the brush. It's pretty wet. And then I'm going to add a little water right here. There. In fact, I might even just add a little bit of that same pink that I had here and let it float down in there. Oh, I'm getting a back run already. I don't care. There, I kind of like that.
Yep.
So let's go back and let's get a little bit more of the violet. Cindy was using violet a while ago, and I said, she's on to something. So these lines are going this way. And I think I want a little bit more of the violet up in here. So I'm kind of stroking it in like that. And then this turns and comes this way. I'll just keep this back from that area. Maybe I won't even go. Well, maybe I'll go to the edge. Let's give it some edge and oh, that's nice. And let's break it up a little bit in some spot. Because I can always come back and add to it later. Well, that's not going away on me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it bleed out this way. I could even tilt it a little bit. Oh, I'll just leave that right like that, okay? So, and then I'm going to come back and, like I said, I'm going to repeat this leaf in here. And
So are you gonna put another layer on top of the leaves? Or are you gonna leave it white?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I might add a little bit. I might not add a whole lot, but I will probably have to add some darks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to zip it up with some darks for sure. I also might start to use this same violet. Let's see, here we go, violet. Come out, come out. I might use this same violet and begin to differentiate some areas in here. Yeah, I saw Cindy's color a while ago. She was doing with the I can't talk.
The violet.
With the violet and the coral together, and I thought that was so gorgeous. I added some in on top of what I had, and then when it dried, it wasn't as beautiful as I thought it was going to be. So I'm coming back in, but my thought is to go ahead and also bring in some darker shapes right in here. You know, and begin to break that up a little bit, even as I'm playing with this. Now, don't do what I'm doing, as I always say, because I'm probably just going to make a bunch of runbacks, but you know what? They might look good here.
Yep.
So I would say when you're working like this, be cautious. You know, not saying don't do what I do, but I'm just saying be thoughtful about it. Know that it may give you surprises, and just be prepared to embrace the surprises, right? Yeah. So I think I'll leave that like that right now. And see, that looks so colorful and beautiful right now. But again, when it dries, it may be considerably duller, particularly since it's been grayed down some. So that's basically
Okay.
it.